Judge for yourselves.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Somebody lost a dog in the studio, I'm afraid. Thank you very much. Good evening, ladies. You couldn't lose anything in there, actually. But good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to A Judge for Yourself. Now, I'm very sorry that I have no opening remarks tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I tell you, I did have some hilarious comments prepared, but unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to use them tonight, and I'll tell you why, confidentially. Now, last week, as we know, for 6 days, New York City was smothered in a blanket of smog. And it was very bad, as we all experienced. The planes were grounded, motorists couldn't drive their cars. Visibility was so poor that people who were going into pet shops couldn't buy a peek, actually. And Sunday, a sly thing, just testing. Sunday, the New York Times came out and said that the smog was going to last until Tuesday, until tonight of our show, you see. So I got busy right away collecting smog jokes, you know, to be ready for tonight for the topical things like Gary Moore and Arthur Godfrey, all the topical jokes that they tell. And I really had some pretty good smog jokes. One of them was, Friday it was so dark that 40 people went into the Western Union in the daytime and send night letters. That was just a sort of an opening one, a little titter to see what would happen, to sort of feel the audience out. And then I had another joke. It said the air is so heavy that people in New York have more coal in their lungs than they have in their cellars. And this was just to let you rest from the first joke, you see, a sort of a lull that I purposely had inserted in there. And then another joke that I have no control over the lulls, unfortunately. But another smog joke was about the man up in the Bronx who released the carrier pigeon to fly over to Jersey City. And later in the night, he received a bill for $77.55. It seems that it couldn't see to fly over to Jersey City, so the carrier pigeon had taken a taxi cab. Well, I was all set. I would just give us a sample. Luckily, things happened the way they did. I can see now. But I was all set with all of these smog jokes, ladies and gentlemen, and yesterday the rain came, the smog disappeared, and here I am sitting tonight holding the gag, as it were. But, of course, we won't have our hilarious opening as we usually have. We've changed for tonight, as you've sensed. And we'll just start off with Judge for Yourself, our usual show, and here's how it works.
These three studio judges were selected from the mail and invited here tonight to test their skill at judging talent. Miss Reburta Marks, a salesgirl. Mr. Katz, a waiter. Mr. Charles Dempsey, who runs a bartending school. They can win $2,000 if they rate tonight's acts in the same order as this distinguished jury of show business experts. One of the great names in the American theater, Mr. Eddie Dowling. One of Tin Pan Alley's top music men, Mr. Johnny Mercer. The radio and television editor of Billboard, Mr. Sam Chase. And that's our board of experts.
Well, I want to welcome our experts tonight, ladies and gentlemen, and hope they will enjoy their short visit with us for the next 28 minutes and 32 seconds, I'm advised, at the moment. Now, our first judge tonight, who's going to try to judge the talent, is Mr. Charles Dempsey. Will you sit down, Mr. Dempsey, please? Now, you probably have identified Mr. Dempsey. You've perhaps seen him before, ladies and gentlemen, and if you have, you saw him last week on our show. Because Mr. Dempsey was so busy interviewing me that I had no opportunity to interview him. So we're going to start over tonight again and have another go at it. You are here prepared, are you, Mr. Dempsey?
That's right, Fred. It gives me a great pleasure of coming back.
Well, thank you very much. Now, did I give you some old goals last week?
You sure did, but I'd like to have another pack.
Well, all right. I said it's Thanksgiving week. I'll give you another pack of the regular size. Now, tonight, last week, Mr. Dempsey, you used up all of your time telling me about a vaudeville act, Tom and Dolly Ward.
Two lovely people, and I remember them way back.
Yeah, they did, huh?
They were very good entertainers, and I...
Now wait, just a minute, Mr. Dempsey. That's how we got involved in that routine last week. But you said at that time that you were the president of the International School for Bartenders. That's true. I recall my mind is still functioning, isn't it? Your school is here in the city, is it?
200 West 24th Street.
200, that's downtown, isn't it?
That's right.
Now, your bartender college doesn't use the Bowery for a campus, does it?
No, not at all.
I just wanted to make sure. I think I have seen some of your old grads relaxing in doorways down there. Well, tell me now, what does a bartender learn at your school, Mr. Dempsey?
Everything in regards of bartending, how to handle people, how to take care of himself in back of a bar.
Uh-huh.
The real proper way.
How to ring up the cash register when the boss is not around, that also...
No, just to get the money for the boss.
Oh, I see. Well, how long is the course?
It takes 4 weeks.
4 weeks. That's all you have? You don't have any sports or anything like that?
No.
Do you pass out degrees, a BA, Bachelor of Alcohol, or anything?
No, Fred, but I'll tell you what we do. We give them a beautiful gold diploma with a beautiful red ribbon on it.
Oh, you do?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
They gotta get that.
Oh, I thought you might have a bouncer who heaves the graduating student out through the swinging doors, so that
No.
he would realize that he's on his own when he's through with the school. Well, it's certainly been nice talking to you. We had a little more time tonight, didn't we, Mr. Dempsey?
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I might bring you, if you bring me back next week, maybe we'll talk again. But the time has now come for you to test your skill at judging talent. We're going to show you our first act, and you can judge for yourself. Now, this first act is a young singer named Luis Pichado. He was discovered in Cuba and brought to the United States by Ezio Pinza. Now, this is Luis' first television debut. Old Gold is happy to present Mr. Pichado. You're going to enjoy it.
Granada, tierra soñada por mí, mi cantar se vuelve gitano cuando es para ti. Mi cantar hecho de fantasía, mi cantar flor de melancolía, que yo te vengo a dar. Granada, tierra ensangrentada en tarde de sol. Mujer que conserva el embrujo de los ojos moros, de sueño rebelde y gitana cubierta de flores, y beso tu boca de grana, jugosa manzana que me habla de amor. Granada, manola cantada en coplas preciosas. No tengo otra cosa que darte que un ramo de rosas de suave fragancia que le dieran marco a la Virgen morena. Tu tierra está llena de lindas mujeres, de sangre y de sol. ¡Y ole!
Luis Pichado, ladies and gentlemen. And here is our next studio judge, Mr. Katz. Mr. Katz, welcome to our show. We want you to have a a carton of Old Golds with our compliments for your smoking pleasure. Now, Mr. Katz, tonight, of course, you may win $2,000 if you can rate the acts in the proper order. Do you think you can do that?
I'll be lucky enough to win.
If you're lucky enough?
So I'll be satisfied.
Well, you'll be satisfied if you win. You won't be disappointed if you lose by any chance.
Not a bit.
Well, tell me, you know talent, of course. What shows are your favorites on television?
Well, I like Groucho Marx.
Groucho Marx, a competitor, yeah.
And Red Button.
Red Button, yeah.
Yes, sir. Well, Abe Schreiner is all right, too.
Abe Schreiner is very... He's on that other network, isn't he, Abe Schreiner?
Yes.
He comes on right after Jakey Gleason. Well, Mr. Katz, you are a waiter in a restaurant. I know this restaurant must have a name, doesn't it?
Did you ever see a restaurant without a name?
Well...
It's the High Grade Restaurant.
Oh, the High Grade is a dairy restaurant, is it?
Well, I didn't give you the address yet.
Oh, no. Oh, you didn't give me the... All right, go ahead.
128, 140...
Well, you don't know where it is. You ought to send me...
149 West 28th Street, East 7th Avenue. Dairy Restaurant.
Well, they haven't moved since you came up to the program.
Yes.
Well, I didn't realize I was interrupting a commercial, Mr. Katz. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
All right.
It might be on wheels, the restaurant,
That's
too.
right. No,
well,
not.
It isn't on wheels. Well,
It's 30 years already.
30 years,
Makes
not
it-
on wheels.
Not on wheels.
Well, good. Well, now that's not going anyplace, then, is
Not
it?
yet.
Well, now I know where the high-grade restaurant is. I may come down there sometime. How is the food, confidentially?
Well, I worked there. It has to be good.
Oh, it has to
But
be.
you can't expect I shall say it smells good when I work there.
Oh, well, no, naturally not.
Naturally, you know how it is.
Well, you have taken a loyalty oath, have you, to the... Have you sworn not to repeat anything a tongue may say on the premises? Have you? Well, by the way, you have a... I've been saying Mr. Katz. You have a first name, of course.
Naturally, but who hasn't got no first name? Alex.
Alex is your name.
Alex Katz. Yes.
Alex Katz. Well, do your customers call you Alex?
No, Mr. Katz. I call them Mr. and they call me Mr. Katz.
Oh, I see.
Yes,
Your dairy is very formal, then, the restaurant.
That's right.
The herrings are in tails, too. Zook me, Mr. Katz.
Yes, sir.
What are some of the delicacies listed on the menu at High Grade?
Well, I haven't got no menu.
You haven't a
On
menu?
my table specially, I don't keep no menus. I give the customers to eat what I need, what I see it's good for them.
Oh, I see. Well, suppose the customer doesn't like what you give him.
So let him get up and go to a different table where his bill of fare
This is, you suddenly make a cafeteria out of this place.
Not yet, but
That's possible.
Possible.
But if you... if you are in the mood, then, and you do serve a customer, what can he have?
that's according, we have every day different food.
Oh, different food.
Certainly. Today we'll have like halibut, Gordon, blintzes.
Blintzes.
Yeah.
Tell me, could you explain what a blintzer is?
Not a blintzes, blintzes.
Oh, blintzes.
You play with the cheese, it's fried
No, but
and cheese.
wait a minute now.
Wait a minute, I'll explain you. You're not explaining me either.
Well, I know what a blintzer is.
Do you
It's
eat in a
pot-
restaurant?
Yes, I do.
And you don't know what blintzes
I
is?
know what a blintzer is. It's pot cheese in an envelope. I know what it is.
That's right.
It's fried, yes.
Yes.
And I said blintzer thing because you said red button, and I thought you talked in the singular,
That's
and
right.
I didn't want it. Well, now the
You got
time...
two buttons, all right.
Two buttons, all right. Well, now the time for you to test your skill as a judge, Mr. Katz.
That's
We're going
right.
to show you our next act, Tony Lavelli. Now, Tony became famous as an All-American basketball player for Yale University. And since that time, he's been building a musical career for himself, playing the accordion in clubs and theaters around the country. And here he is. You'll enjoy him, Tony Lavelli.
Stay tuned. There's more Black and White Sunday Night coming right up. Looks...
And here's our next studio judge to judge our talent tonight, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Reburta Marks. Miss Marks, with our compliments, we want you to have a carton of Old Gold cigarettes.
Thank
You just
you.
heard Dennis speak about them, and I'm sure you'll enjoy them.
I will.
Now, in your letter, Miss Marks, you say that you are a sales girl in a men's shop. Is the shop here in New York City?
No, it isn't. It's Jack Henry's. That's on the Country Club Plaza in Kansas City, Missouri.
In Kansas City, Missouri.
That's right.
And you are the only girl working in the store?
Well, I'm the only single girl. We've got about 20 salesmen. Believe me, I take quite a kidding.
In the store,
In
huh?
the store.
What do they kid you about?
Well, for example, every now and then a customer will come in and they'll say, "Where's Miss Marks?" Some salesman will say, "Oh, Miss Marks, she's in men's underwear."
You're not related to Groucho, Miss Marks,
No,
by any chance,
no
are you?
relation.
Well, tell me, did you ever have any amusing experiences as a woman working in a men's store?
Oh, all the time.
You do?
Just last week, a very distinguished woman came in and she said, "I'd like to see something very exciting in men's pajamas." I said, "Well, I'd be glad to sell you the pajamas, but you'll have to go out and find your own excitement."
You don't need a television in that store, do you? You could, well, tell me, Miss Marks, your store, you say, is in Kansas City, Missouri.
Right.
Has Harry Truman ever bought any of your haberdashery?
Not to my knowledge.
He hasn't,
I
huh?
don't think so.
He hasn't opened up for himself again, has he, around there?
No, he probably does all of his shopping with his ex-partner, Eddie Jacobson, who
Oh,
has
is his
the
partner
men's
still
store.
in business
He's
there?
Still in business.
Good. Well, I heard a rumor that Harry is going in for bright colors this season. He's had so much trouble with white lately. I just sort of threw that in because it sort of needed company to go with his stuff. Well, it's certainly been nice talking to you, and now the time has come for you to try to judge your talent. Try your skill at judging talent. I'll get, when I find out what show I'm on, I'll say the thing. We're going to show you our next act, Miss Marks, and you can judge for yourself. Now, our next performers are three sisters who first got their start on a three-sitters. That's fine, isn't it? They're going to stand up tonight for the performance, though, who first got their start on a talent show sponsored by Old Gold several years ago. And here they are, the Woodside Sisters. Thank you very much.
In my high starch collar and my high top shoes and my hair held high upon my head, I went to lose a jolly hour on the trolley and lost my heart instead. In his light brown derby and his bright green tie, he was quite the handsomest of men. I started to yen, so I counted to 10, and I counted to 10 again. Went the trolley, went the band, went my heartstrings. From the moment I saw him, I fell. Went the motor, bump, 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 went the brake. Went my heartstrings, and he smiled, I could feel the car shake. He tipped his hat and took a seat. He said, "I hope I haven't stepped upon your feet." I asked his name, then I held my breath. I couldn't speak because he scared me half to death. Oh! Went the buzzer, went the wheel, stop, 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 went my heartstrings. As he started to leave, I took hold of his sleeve with my hand, and as if it were planned, he stayed on with me, and it was grand just to stand with his hand holding mine, to the end of the... to the end of the line.
It's judging time. Time now for the experts to rate tonight's acts 1, 2, and 3. If any of our studio judges can rate the acts in exactly the same order as the experts, he will win $2,000. If there is more than one winner, the studio judges will share the prize.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, let us see how our studio judges have rated our talent tonight. Now, first, Miss Marks, I see that your list has been completed. Tell me, how have you rated our talent 1, 2, and 3?
Well, my first choice is Luis Pichardo.
Uh-huh.
My second choice, the Woodside Sisters.
Uh-huh.
And my third choice is Tony Lavelli.
Luis Pichardo, the Woodside Sisters, and Tony Lavelli. Well, thank you very much. And Mr. Katz, tell me, how have you rated our talent tonight? 1, 2, and 3.
Louis Pichardo, choice number 1.
Uh-huh.
Woodside Sisters, number 2.
Uh-huh.
And Tony Lavelli, number 3.
Louis Pichardo, Woodside Sisters.
Pichardo, I said.
Well, I know. You changed the name of your restaurant, too, you know. I'm not going along with you now. And Tony Lavelli. All right, thank you very much. Under any other name, Mr. Katz. I might change your name before you're through here. Okay. Mr. Dempsey, tell us, how have you rated the acts 1, 2, and 3?
The Woodside Sisters first.
Uh-huh.
Louis Pichardo, second.
Uh-huh.
Tony Lavelli, third.
Woodside Sisters, Luis Pichardo, and Tony Lavelli. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Dempsey. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let us see if any of our studio judges has matched our experts' finding. Mr. Mercer, I believe that you are the spokesman of the small group there.
Well, Fred, our first choice is Louis Pichardo.
Louis Pichardo.
Such a fine appearance and has such a great voice. He sang such a great song, we think.
Uh-huh.
The Woodside Sisters second.
Second, yes.
They seem to know so much about what they're doing as far as props and things, and they're so attractive.
Yes.
And Mr. Lavelli, because he handles the accordion almost as well as he handles the basketball.
Well, thank you very much.
The results on our scoreboard show that the studio judges who match the experts are Mr. Katz and Miss Reburta Marks, and they divide $2,000.
Well, congratulations, Miss Marks and Mr. Katz. The makers of Old Gold cigarettes are certainly happy to give you our $2,000 prize tonight. Congratulations. I guess the time has all run out, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you next Tuesday night. Good night, and see you then.